Okay, so picture this, right? You're a Flamengo fan. It's 2019. And for 38 years, you've been waiting, like literally waiting a lifetime for your team to win South America's biggest football title.
The Copa Libertadores.
Yeah, the Copa Libertadores. And today, well, we're diving deep into that year, into this victory, this crazy victory that was so dramatic, so cathartic that it basically redefined what it means to be a Flamengo fan. And we've got like articles and images.
Even firsthand accounts.
Yeah, firsthand accounts of this emotional roller coaster, the 2019 Copa Libertadores final.
And it's a story that goes beyond just the final score, right? Like it gets into like the heart of the players, the fans, the tactical brilliance of the coach. It's the legacy of a victory that like resonated through all of Brazilian football.
Right, so it's more than just like a recap, right?
Right.
We're looking at the how and the why this particular win became so, huge, so significant. We'll like unpack the nail-biting moments, the coach's moves, like some risky moves he made, and hear what it was like, inside that stadium.
A stadium just like packed with hope and tension. Oh, man.
Yeah.
And, for those who might not be like super familiar with South American football, let's set the stage a little bit.
Yeah.
The Copa Libertadores is basically, it's the Champions League of South America, right?
Right.
The best clubs, they battle it out. They want to be like the top dog in the continent. And for Brazilian teams, I mean, it's arguably even more important than any domestic trophy.
So when we talk about, Flamengo's 38-year drought, we're talking about, like you said, almost a lifetime for some fans. I mean, this wasn't just another game. This was like a chance to reclaim a legacy. Like their only previous Libertadores title was way back in 1981.
Led by the legendary Zico.
Yeah, exactly. And in a way, like, history was kind of repeating itself. This time it was Gabigol, a striker with a flair for the dramatic.
Oh, yeah.
He would become the hero. The parallels, I mean, they're pretty fascinating.
Okay, so let's go to Lima, Peru. That's where the final was held.
And the monumental stadium, I mean, it was a sea of red and black, Flamengo colors. I can only imagine what the atmosphere was like. I mean, the weight of expectations just pressing down on everyone. I mean, the tension was palpable. And then early in the game, River Plate, the Argentinian powerhouse, they score. So Flamengo is on the back foot immediately. And you can just feel the doubts starting to creep in.
Oh, man. You can almost feel the collective gasp from the Flamengo faithful. So did this early setback, I mean, did it just shatter their hopes? Or did it, fuel their determination?
Well, according to Willian Arão, he was a midfielder for Flamengo. Something kind of interesting happened. He later said that, like, despite the score, he had this feeling, almost a premonition, that they were going to win.
Really?
Yeah, a premonition. That's interesting. Was it just like blind faith, or was there something more there? Like a shift in the energy on the field.
Hard to say for sure, but what's fascinating is how this belief, this premonition, this refusal to give up, I mean, it just seemed to spread through the team. They came out in the second half, I mean, a completely different side. Mm-hmm. River Plate started to tire, and Flamengo they began dominating possession.
So the momentum shifts.
Yeah.
But still, the clock is ticking, right?
Oh,
and they're down a goal. What was like the turning point, the moment that tipped the scales?
Well, it was a combination of factors. First, you have Jorge Jesus. He's Flamengo's coach. Mm-hmm. He makes some pretty bold changes. He substitutes some key players, pushes his team forward. I mean, even at the risk of conceding another goal. This wasn't just about equalizing. It was about taking control.
That's a high risk, high reward strategy.
Yeah.
So what exactly did he change tactically? Did he switch formations or?
He did.
Yeah.
Flamengo had started the match in a 4-2-3-1. So that's a formation that emphasizes, defensive solidity.
Yeah.
But he switched to a more attacking 4-3-3, bringing on an extra forward and pushing his wingers, higher up the pitch.
So he sacrifices some defensive cover to basically overload River Plate's defense.
Right.
I mean, that's a bold move, especially considering, they're still down a goal at this point.
It was a gamble, but it paid off. I mean, the pressure's intensified. And then in the 88th minute, Bruno Henrique, he's a forward known for his speed and trickery. I mean, he makes this incredible play.
Oh, wow.
He weaves through defenders, finds Gabigol in the box, and boom, the equalizer.
Wow. You can practically feel like the release of tension, the roar from the Flamengo fans. Yeah. I mean, it must have just felt like a miracle.
it was more than just relief, right? It was disbelief, pure, like, unadulterated joy. And just minutes later, I mean, deep into what's called stoppage time, that's the extra minutes added on at the end of each half to account for, interruptions and stuff. Gabigol, I mean, he does it again. He scores his second goal.
Wait, so he scores twice in the final minutes of the game. This is like straight out of a movie script.
It was truly remarkable. A testament to the team's resilience and Jorge Jesus's tactical, genius. I mean, for Flamengo fans who had endured, decades of heartbreak, it was a moment of pure catharsis.
Hey, hold on. So they're down a goal, right?
Yeah.
For most of the match. And then bam, 2 goals. Like just like that in the last few minutes. I mean, come on, they snatch victory, from the jaws of defeat. I mean, I'm getting chills just thinking about it.
I mean, it's one of those moments, right, where sport transcends the game itself. It becomes this story about belief, about resilience, about the power of a community, willing itself to victory.
And speaking of community, we got to talk about the reactions. What was it like to be in that stadium? I mean, surrounded by tens of thousands of delirious Flamengo fans.
Yeah.
Oh man, Eric Faria, he's a reporter for TV Globo. He was on the ground in Lima that day, and he described it as unlike any victory celebration he had ever witnessed.
Yeah.
It wasn't just joy, right?
Right.
It was this cathartic release. It was like a collective outpouring of emotion that had been building for 38 years.
It's like all that frustration, all those years of waiting, it all just found an outlet in that one moment.
Exactly. He described seeing, grown men weeping openly, tears, streaming down their faces. They were hugging strangers, singing at the top of their lungs, dancing like they'd never danced before.
Yeah.
It was a moment of pure collective euphoria.
Wow, that's powerful. So we've got this incredible comeback, this eruption of joy in the stadium. But the story, I mean, it doesn't end there, right? Not even close. This victory wasn't just like a one-off. It marked the beginning of a new era for Flamengo. I mean, the articles you provided, they highlight how this team under Jorge Jesus, they went on to dominate Brazilian football. They won multiple championships. They reestablished themselves as a force to be reckoned with.
So it's like this victory unlocked something within the club,
Yeah.
a winning mentality. And that just propelled them to new heights.
I mean, that's the key takeaway, right? It's about understanding the lasting impact, the ripple effects that extend far beyond that final whistle. This victory transformed Flamengo from a club haunted by its past into a symbol of resurgence, of dominance.
That's fascinating. It's almost like they needed this win, to break the curse, to exorcise those demons of 1981.
It's a compelling narrative, and it's supported by the evidence, right? They weren't just winning; they were doing it with a style, with a swagger that hadn't been seen in decades.
Okay, so we've got this incredible narrative arc. The underdog comeback, the cathartic release, the rise to dominance. But what about the players themselves? What was it like to be in their shoes, during those final heart-stopping minutes?
So we have this amazing account from Filipe Luís. He's a defender. He'd played for top European clubs, and he even won the Champions League. But he described this Libertadores victory with his boyhood club as the most meaningful of his career.
Yeah, that's really saying something, considering he'd achieved the pinnacle of European football. So why do you think this particular win meant so much to him?
I think it speaks to the power of emotional connection, the deep-rooted sense of belonging, that ties a player to their childhood club. For Filipe Luís, this wasn't just about winning a trophy, right? It was about fulfilling a lifelong dream, about bringing glory to the team he had supported since he was a kid.
It's like he came full circle, right? Returning home to achieve something that had eluded him and the club for so long.
Exactly, and he even admitted that he didn't play his best in the final. Because he was so nervous, the weight of expectation, the desire to not let down his his city, his team, his family. It all got to him.
Wow, that's raw honesty. It just shows you that the pressure these players are under, especially in a match of this magnitude.
Absolutely, and it makes his triumph all the more impressive. I mean, he conquered not only the opponent but also his own nerves, to achieve something truly special.
So we've heard from players, reporters, and fans, but what about the commentators? Those voices that guide us through the highs and lows of a match. How did they capture the drama of this historic night?
Oh man. They played a crucial role, right, in shaping the narrative, in conveying the raw emotion of the game to millions watching across Brazil. I mean, Luis Roberto, he's a legendary commentator for TV Globo, and he described the mood before the comeback as one of near despair. He said you could feel the tension in the air, the fear that history was about to repeat itself, that Flamengo was destined to fall short once again.
So even the commentators, those seasoned observers of the game, I mean, they were caught up in the emotional roller coaster too.
Absolutely. And then with that first goal, I mean, everything changes. He describes this palpable shift in energy, a surge of belief that just courses through the stadium. And when Gabigol scores that second one, I mean, it's pandemonium. Luis Roberto said it was like the entire country just erupted in a collective cheer, a moment of pure ecstasy that transcended sport. It became a celebration of national pride.
Wow. That's powerful. It's like they weren't just commentating; they were experiencing this historic victory alongside the players and the fans.
Exactly, and there's this amazing anecdote about Junior. He's another Flamengo legend from the 1981 team, and he was working as a commentator that night. And when Gabigol scored that second goal, he literally jumped out of his seat and sprinted down to the field to join the celebrations.
Yeah. After waiting 38 years, he finally got to witness his beloved team reclaim the Copa Libertadores. I can only imagine the emotion he must have been feeling.
Oh man, it was a moment that encapsulated the collective joy, the shared history, the redemption that this victory represented for so many people.
So we've got the emotional reactions, we've got the commentators' perspectives, but what about the broader context?
Yeah,
the historical significance of this win.
Right, and that's crucial to understanding why this victory resonated so deeply within Brazilian football culture. To fully appreciate the magnitude, we need to rewind to 1981, the year Flamengo last lifted the the Copa Libertadores trophy.
The Zico era, right? A team that's still spoken about with reverence by Flamengo fans.
Exactly. That victory marked like a golden age for the club. It was a period of dominance both domestically and internationally. But the years that followed, I mean, they were marked by a series of near misses, frustrating defeats, and this growing sense that the club had lost its way.
So for fans who had witnessed that golden era, this 2019 victory, it must feel like a return to glory, a reclaiming of their rightful place, among the elite.
That's precisely it. The 38-year gap between those two Libertadores titles represents this period of longing, of frustration, and a yearning for the days when Flamengo was the undisputed king of South American football.
It's like they had this legacy to live up to, this weight of expectation that had been building for generations.
Right, and the articles we have really emphasize how this 2019 victory wasn't just about winning a trophy, right? It was about healing old wounds, about restoring pride, and about proving that Flamengo was back where it belonged at the pinnacle of South American football.
So it wasn't just a sporting achievement. It was a cultural moment, a symbol of resilience and a testament to the enduring power of hope.
Precisely. And it's worth noting that this victory came at a time when Brazil was facing, some significant social and economic challenges. And this win, I mean, it gave them a reason to celebrate this shared moment of joy and unity, that transcended the political and economic anxieties of the time.
It's incredible how sport can sometimes provide a much needed sense of hope and inspiration, during difficult times.
Absolutely. And in this case, I mean, Flamengo's victory became this this beacon of light, a reminder that even in the face of adversity, that the human spirit can triumph.
So we've explored the emotional roller coaster, the tactical brilliance, the historical context, the broader cultural impact of this victory. But what about the tactical side of things? Can we break down some of the key moments in the game itself? I know our listeners are eager to hear about the specifics of how Flamengo pulled off this improbable comeback.
Yeah, of course. Let's rewind to those final minutes that shifted the destiny of the match, etched this game into footballing folklore. And as we discussed, River Plate had scored early, right? So that left Flamengo chasing the game for a significant portion of the match. And that first half was a tense affair with River Plate, controlling the tempo, and Flamengo struggling to break down their organized defense.
So it wasn't just the scoreline, right? I mean, Flamengo seemed tactically outmaneuvered in that first half. So what changed in the second half? Was it purely a change in mentality, or were there, tactical adjustments that tipped the balance?
Both aspects played a crucial role. While the belief within the Flamengo camp undoubtedly surged in the second half. I mean, Jorge Jesus's tactical switch at halftime, it was a masterstroke. He recognized the need for a more attacking approach, which was a gamble, right? Considering they were already trailing, but it was a gamble that ultimately paid off.
So he went for broke. Was it like a complete overhaul of their strategy?
It was a calculated risk. He shifted from the more conservative 4-2-3-1 formation, which prioritizes defensive stability, to a more attack-minded 4-3-3. Introducing an extra forward and pushing his wingers higher up the pitch. And this change, it put immense pressure on River Plate's defense, forced them to backpedal, and ultimately opened up spaces for Flamengo to exploit.
So by overloading the attack, he stretched River Plate's defense thin, creating opportunities for his players to exploit those gaps. It's like a game of chess where each move has consequences, and can drastically alter the flow of the match.
Precisely. And this tactical shift, coupled with the unwavering belief within the Flamengo ranks, I mean, that set the stage for those magical final 10 minutes where they turned the game on its head.
So the stage is set, right?
Yeah.
The tension is palpable, and we're all on the edge of our seats waiting for that moment of magic. So what happened next?
Well, with the clock ticking down and the score still 1-0 in favor of River Plate, it was Bruno Henrique who emerged as the catalyst for Flamengo's remarkable comeback. And in the 88th minute, he receives the ball on the left flank. And with this burst of speed and agility that left the River Plate defenders just flat-footed. I mean, he weaved his way into the penalty area.
So this is where individual brilliance meets tactical awareness.
Right.
I mean, he's not just running aimlessly. He's exploiting the space that was created by Jorge Jesus' tactical switch.
Exactly. And as he cuts inside, he spots Gabigol lurking near the penalty spot. And with a perfectly weighted pass, I mean, he finds his teammate who with a striker's instinct takes a touch and fires a powerful shot past the helpless River Plate goalkeeper.
Goal. Finally, the breakthrough, right? That Flamengo had been desperately searching for. It must have felt like a tidal wave of relief just washing over the stadium.
Oh man, the noise was deafening. A mixture of elation, disbelief, and pure joy. It was as if the entire stadium had exhaled in unison. The tension that had been building for over 80 minutes finally released.
But they weren't done yet, were they? This is where it gets truly unbelievable.
I mean, it's the stuff of legends. As the game entered, stoppage time, those precious few minutes added on to account for stoppages in play. I mean, Flamengo sensing blood in the water, they continued to press forward, fueled by the momentum of their equalizer and the unwavering support of their fans.
So they're not settling for a draw. They're going for the win. I mean, this takes guts, especially in a high pressure situation like this.
And it's that relentless pursuit of victory that ultimately sealed their fate. In the 92nd minute, deep into stoppage time, a long ball was played forward towards Gabigol, who had positioned himself, cleverly between the River Plate center backs.
So he's anticipating the play, right? Reading the game like a seasoned veteran. This is what separates the great strikers from the good ones.
Precisely. And as the ball dropped over the heads of the defenders, Gabigol with a burst of speed that belied his deceptively languid style. I mean, he latched onto the ball, controlled it perfectly with his right foot before unleashing this powerful left-footed volley that just flew past the outstretched arms of the goalkeeper and into the back of the net.
Unbelievable. Another goal. I mean, 2 goals in the dying minutes to complete one of the most improbable comebacks in Copa Libertadores history. I mean, I'm running out of superlatives to describe this moment.
It was a moment of pure footballing ecstasy, a testament to the power of belief, the importance of tactical nous, and the sheer determination of a team that refused to give up on their dreams.
And I bet the commentators lost their minds.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to hear their reactions to these incredible moments.
Oh man. Well, as we discussed earlier, Luis Roberto, the veteran commentator for TV Globo, he was struggling to contain his emotions as the game unfolded. He described the atmosphere in the commentary box as one of disbelief, then elation, then pure pandemonium as Gabigol scored those 2 late goals.
I can only imagine, to witness something so improbable, so traumatic, so emotionally charged. It must have been an experience they'll never forget.
Right. And then there's the story of Junior, the Flamengo legend from the 1981 team. I mean, we already mentioned how he ran down to the field to celebrate, right? But what's even more remarkable is that he had predicted this victory. I mean, almost word for word, just moments before Gabigol's first goal.
Wait, are you serious? He predicted the comeback.
Yeah, there's footage of him in the commentary box saying something to the effect of, Flamengo's going to score now, and then they're going to score again in stoppage time to win it. And then, like a script unfolding before their eyes, it happened exactly as he had predicted.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, was he psychic or was it just an incredibly lucky guess?
I mean, it's hard to say for sure, but it speaks to the almost mystical connection between Junior, this club, and its destiny. And for Flamengo fans, it added another layer of magic to an already unforgettable night.
So we've got this incredible comeback fueled by tactical brilliance, individual brilliance, and perhaps even a touch of destiny. But what about the long-term implications? How did this victory shape the future of Flamengo? Did it live up to the hype and the expectations, that came with such a historic win?
That's where it gets really interesting. Remember, this wasn't just about winning a trophy. It was about reclaiming a legacy, about proving that Flamengo was back on top. And in the years that followed, I mean, they did exactly that.
So they didn't just bask in the glory of this one victory. They used it as a springboard for sustained success.
Precisely. Under Jorge Jesus, they implemented a style of play that was both attractive and effective. I mean, they were dominating opponents with their possession-based football, scoring goals for fun. They went on to win the Brazilian Serie A title in 2019 and 2020, cementing their status as the best team in Brazil.
Wow. Back-to-back league titles. That's a clear indication that this wasn't just a fluke. It was a sign of a team that had found its groove.
And it wasn't just domestic success, right? I mean, they continued to perform well in the Copa Libertadores, reaching the final again in 2021, although they ultimately fell short against Palmeiras, another Brazilian giant.
So they established themselves as a force to be reckoned with, not just in Brazil, but on the continental stage as well.
Exactly. And this period of success, it also saw the emergence of several young players who went on to become stars, both for Flamengo and for the Brazilian national team.
So this victory had this ripple effect, impacting the development of young talent and contributing to the resurgence of Brazilian football as a whole.
Absolutely, and it all started with that magical night in Lima, that improbable comeback that ignited this new era for Flamengo and reminded the world of the passion, the drama, the sheer brilliance of Brazilian football.
It's crazy, right? Like how one game, one moment can have such a massive impact, not just on a team, but like on a whole nation's football. And we've talked about the tactics, the emotions, the players' stories, but what I think is really interesting is this idea of legacy. What does this victory mean for Flamengo like 5 years on? How's it shaped their identity, like their place in football?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I think it goes beyond just, trophies and titles, this victory, the way it happened, the emotions. It solidified something, intangible but powerful, the spirit of Flamengo,
It's like that never say die attitude, that fighting spirit, just became like embedded in their DNA.
Right, exactly. And that resonated with the fans, right? I mean, it wasn't just about winning, it was about how they won, the dramatic comeback, the refusal to accept defeat. It rekindled a connection, a belief in the team that had maybe wavered during those years of disappointment.
Yeah. And we talked about the resurgence that followed the league titles, being consistently in continental competitions. Do you think that would have been possible without this 2019 win? Was it like a turning point, or just a nice moment in a larger story?
I mean, it's hard to say for sure, but I think there's a strong argument to be made that this victory was a catalyst.
Yeah.
It injected belief, not just within the team, but within the whole organization. It showed them what was possible, what they could achieve when they played with that Flamengo spirit.
And it attracted talent, right?
Yeah.
Like top players. I mean, they want to be part of winning teams.
Mm-hmm.
Teams with ambition. And this victory put Flamengo back on the map, not just in South America, but globally.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
you look at their squad post 2019. They were able to attract established stars, nurture young talent. They invested wisely, built a solid infrastructure, and that consistency, both on and off the pitch, is a direct result of the momentum generated by that 2019 win.
So it's not just like a feel good story, right? It's a story about how a single moment can shift the trajectory of an entire institution. It's a lesson in leadership, in resilience, in harnessing the power of belief.
And it's a reminder that sometimes the most improbable victories, the ones that defy logic and expectation, those are the ones that leave the most lasting impact. They become part of a team's folklore, stories passed down through generations, shaping their identity, inspiring, future players, future fans.
Beautifully said. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the Flamengo's 2019 Copa Libertadores, what's the one key takeaway you want our listeners to remember? What's the essence of this story? The heart of its significance.
I think it's the power of belief, right?
Yeah.
Belief in yourself, belief in your team, belief in the possibility of achieving something extraordinary, even when the odds are stacked against you. Flamengo's story in 2019 and beyond, it's a testament to that power. It's a reminder that sometimes, against all logic and reason, sheer will and determination can triumph. And that's a lesson that transcends sport, and it applies to all aspects of life.
It's a story that inspires us, right? To chase our own seemingly impossible dreams, to never give up hope, and to embrace the power of collective belief. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, our own moments of magic are just waiting around the corner. So until our next deep dive, keep believing, keep striving, and keep chasing those dreams.